Well, at least five people have been killed and over 50 injured in violent clashes between supporters of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the All Progressives Congress (APC) across Osun State. According to statements from both parties, the recent clashes, ATN gathered, that that have been attributed to attempts by the Osun APC to reinstate ousted council officials to office across the local government secretariats on Monday. In a statement by Hezekiah Oladele Bamiji, Osun Osun PDP Director of Media, the party alleged that APC thugs, led by a known political figure, carried out coordinated attacks on its members in multiple local government areas, including Borikpe, Olaoluwa, Ishokan, and Ilesha West. In Borikpe, particularly in Iragbiji, two PDP members, Damilere Olumide Ege and Oyebamiji Taiwo, were gruesomely murdered. Over 20 others sustained injuries while preparing for a political rally, he claimed. The PDP further claimed that APC members, with the alleged backing of armed security personnel, opened fire on its supporters, disrupting party activities and causing widespread fear. In Olaoluwa Local Government Council area, two additional PDP members, Abdullahi Olawale Ayamfe and Olaleye Akano, were members. They allegedly gunned down, while others reportedly suffered gunshot wounds. The violence escalated in Ilesa West, where thugs stormed the PDP rally and opened fire indiscriminately. Several chieftains, including Honorable Tunde Eje and Honorable Kasali, were seriously injured, along with an innocent vendor, alleged. The PDP, however, insisted it was a victim of politically motivated violence and had called for an independent investigation into their attacks. However, the APC has denied the allegations and accused the PDP-led Osun State government of orchestrating their attacks. At a press conference in Osogbo, APC chairman Tajuddin Lawal accused Governor Ademola Adeleke of targeting APC members following an appeal court's ruling reinstating the party's sacked local government chairman. The APC called for the proscription of Amotekun, a regional security outfit, alleging its members had assisted PDP operatives in their attacks. Well, Comrade Kingsley, it's good to have you today on the show. And I could remember the last time we had you on the show, we talked about the preparations being put in place by the Nigerian police force, the security agencies, as well as INEC in Osun State, right? So we had an assurance from INEC in Osun State that there will be a free and fair conduct of the local government election in Osun State, as well. We also had assurance as well from the security agencies as regards the security during the local government election process in Osun State. But then Saturday happens to record a very bloody local government election in Osun State, where we have about 2 people lost their lives in that election. Quickly, I would like to get your take on this one.
Well, you must agree with me that the last time we met, when we talked about this Osun State politics, I said very clearly that, you know, with all that is happening there, not obeying court case, trying to make, you know, some arguments, you know, to know if the election should hold and not to hold, you know, I said this thing is going to cause problems. If not for anything, it's going to be all in shambles. What do I mean? You disobey court case, you go run election, at the end of the day you come back, you know, to square one. That's just, you know, by the way, what we discussed then. So if we're not seeing these bloody environments because of these elections, then one shouldn't be surprised, because it's the same thing. What are they fighting for? What are they really fighting for? One party is saying, court says don't go ahead and conduct this election. The other party is saying no. it's our right to conduct the election. It's due for us to, change these local government council persons and all the councillors, So when you have this kind of back and forth and back kind of thing, then you're prone to have a lot of issues. And come to think of it, politics in Nigeria is not just a thing of leading people, as it will just be said. It's all about the pocket thing. It's all about the pocket thing, People want to make money out of it. So they just tell you, we're coming to give you good leadership, good governance, and all of those things. Why would you fight to the point of killing somebody for somebody if it's just, trying to lead people? It's because of what is coming out of it. But I'm saying that it's not even a good thing that we are doing. If you go to the international community, you don't hear much of these things. Look at US. They just finished their election virtually last year. Did you hear of any deaths? Upon what you have been hearing, they shot Donald Trump and this happened and that didn't happen. That was just that. How many people, this is local government election, very small election, and then you're having this kind of thing.
Having casualties.
This is outrageous. Now look at the lives that had gone. Are they going to come back again? No. And again, they are shouting, security people should come in. Somebody saying, let there be an independent investigation and all of those things. Who will be the people that will be investigating? Is it not the same police you're saying that they are biased? I don't know if you understand me. It's the same police that you're saying that they are biased. Or do you expect people like us to go there and do the investigation? You see, the police say they are biased. Those are the people you're still depending on to come and do the investigation. So you see, these people, when it does not please them, it looks as if all you're doing is bad. What you're doing is wrong. You're not supposed to do it. But when it pleases them, oh, yes, good, you did well. Okay? But we should learn how to obey court's ruling. Because if you ask me, this is just the sole reason that you're having all of these problems. If it's going to be election season, why should we go into fighting? Why should we go into fighting? Because it doesn't call for it. But just because the ground is not clear enough, and of course you are just being heady, you just want to do it, you don't want to mind anything that will happen, do you think your opponent will sit back and watch? Oh, you expect APC to just sit back and watch you? Huh? No, it won't happen.
Well, that's actually what the report has to say. That, yeah, PDP, the APC were accusing the PDP that they had thugs, while the PDP are also accusing APC that they have thugs. And in all of this that actually happened, we see that so many people have lost their lives. Some people left with gunshot wounds. And we also heard of a vendor who lost his or her life on the course of that incident that took place there. So, when there's a question I asked you the previous time you were here last week when we talked about this election happening. So I was saying, what could guarantee the safety of those people who are coming to elect their local government leaders? What could guarantee going out to vote? Is that right? But then going out to exercise your franchise, going out to exercise your right, and then at the end of it, you lost. Does it really make sense?
You see, we've seen this election several times. We've seen this election several times. If not for anything, let's start from when democracy started taking calls in Nigerian politics. That's 1999. You have police people assigned to every voting center, okay? But again, the population that comes in for the election outweighs the police people you see over there. And these police people, as I know, they try to also, make sure that they don't come with some kind of, high-handedness in order not to scare people or make it look like, okay, they are trying to do one or two things that people will say, oh, they have sent them. No, they don't want to do that. What they do is they just watch what is going on, and in the case there is any issue of violence, they come into that place. But having said so, there are people who are bent on, we must do what we want to do. If not for anything, there is one big man up there that, at the end of the day, when there is an issue on ground, if they arrest anybody, before anything goes to, or rather before they take anybody to station, or even when you take them to station, a call will come in and they will release them. So somehow I see the police are being tied. Otherwise, they should be the one that will guarantee the voters' safety. I'm telling you this, they should just be the one.
Talking about that, fingers have been pointed to the Osun State Governor, Governor Demola Adeleke, right now. And also, we also have allegations that there are some people who are backing the security agencies, that backed the security agencies, I beg your pardon, during that local government election, that we had the security agencies, instead of protecting those who came to vote, rather they were shooting at those people.
Well, I don't want to believe that the police will outrightly be shooting at people.
Well, that's what the story says.
Yes, that's what the story said. Of course, you also have to remember the story said alleged. If you read through, if you get through the information, they said alleged. So when you say alleged, you're not certain about it.
Right.
You understand?
Okay.
So, but again, let's think of it. Let's just think of it in its reality. I don't see the police doing that. These are political kind of theories to, you know, rob others, you know, making it look like these people, you know, are really, really, you know, using the police to fight against this.
So if we have these police people on ground to checkmate these issues of insecurity, violence, you know, election violence, election crimes and all of that, why then do we have this casualty? Why then do we have this happening when the security agencies of men are there?
You see, like I said, you do not expect the police to start shooting. If not for anything, you have a lot of crowd gathered in that place.
Right.
So you should reason that if they shoot, one gunshot could cause a lot of chaos in that place. But like I said, there are these young men who have been hired by these political elites to come do this mayhem. That is for sure. They just tell them what to do. It may not be the governor directly, but somebody working with the governor. The governor may not just be aware, but just reading the body language of the governor, his people may just decide to go somewhere and say, look, don't let them do this, don't let this happen, otherwise they are going to see this. And you don't expect the police to shoot. The best the police does at such instances, maybe just throw their tear gas, use those minor way of, you know, trying to curb the situation on ground.
Well, but there are no reports of any attempts by the police, you know, to curb all of that. There were no, because it appears what they were trying to avoid actually took place. And we had the security agents on ground. We had them on ground.
You just need to understand this, my brother. You just need to understand this. They said it's an alleged thing. Since they say it's an alleged thing, that means they too that were there, they are not really certain. You know, they're just trying to make up this story. Maybe because, like you said, you know, these people are not supposed to have such injuries or see such gunshots because there are security men on ground. But we also know, we know in this country, we just know in this country. Okay, how are you going to explain that Donald Trump was shot when there were security men all over? Surveillance had already gone round before he even came to that place, and yet somebody could go to that place.
Well, talking about that, it was curtailed immediately.
Yes, it was
because they had security, active security force on ground.
Of course.
And then we have security. There were security there in Osun State. There were security in virtually in all the local government areas where the elections took place. But then we had reports of violence erupting in this local government.
Yes. Like I said, you should understand that this is Nigeria.
All right.
Okay, this is Nigeria. You don't just take it away from Nigeria. This is Nigeria. Yes, I'm not trying to hold brief for the police, but I'm saying that these young men can do and undo. Do you understand? Simply because they want you to believe, they just want you to believe that the police is not actually working, or maybe the police is answerable to somebody. I'm not saying that the police are not answerable to, you know, some of these political bigwigs in any case. I'm not ruling that out. Okay. But I'm saying that hence we have this situation on ground where a lot of persons gather to vote. It becomes very difficult for police to use their firearm in the midst of these people. Do you want to cause stampede? But you see, these boys can just do all of these things, and you don't expect the police to retaliate immediately.
All right.
Do you understand that? You don't expect them to retaliate. They must be professional in their approach to all of this is, even though they are part and parcel of it, I'm saying that they will still have to be professional about it, because if the police decide to release a gunshot in that place, there will be a lot of mayhem than these young men, because these young men, their interest is just to make sure that they target a particular place and get what they want and get away. It may not even be all the pulling units. They just look at where, okay, this is where we're going to lose, this is where, okay, these people are going to win, let's go to this place and tackle this place. Okay, so by so doing, police may just be standing here. You know, yes, they assign police to all of the polling units, we agree. But how many of them are heavily armed? We all go to the election ground and have our election being conducted. How many of these police people are heavily armed that are assigned to each of the police units? Sometimes they are female police officers who literally may just have a tear gas by themselves, or sometimes just without nothing, you know, but like telling everybody, please maintain orderliness, don't fight, don't quarrel, and then you see these boys coming with heavy arms. Are you telling me that the policeman standing there is a wood, or I mean steel? Even steel gets hurt if something like fire gets to it. Is that not so? And not to talk about flesh. So what I'm saying is, whether they are saying that the police is working for somebody or not, the police may not be able to contain the excesses of these boys while on that ground. But after everything, they can do investigation and follow up these boys. That's one thing I know. They can do investigation and follow them, because you can't be fighting. They are not, in fact, it's not a war ground. So why do you expect them to start exchanging a fire?